Hello, and welcome to the Millennial Mastermind Podcast. I'm your host, Brad Mulvey. If you're a millennial looking for actionable advice and a proven formula on how to build the life of your dreams, then this is the show for you. Each week, I'll be connecting with inspiring guests who will be sharing their wisdom on how to reach success. So if you're ready to take your life to the next level, buckle up and enjoy the ride. What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the Millennial Mastermind Podcast. As always, I am so grateful to have you stop by today and spend a little bit of time with me. For those of you who have listened to the show before, you know that this show is all about personal and professional growth and sharing the journey that we're all in trying to get to that next level in our life, in our career, and trying to just find out what that mystery path is to success. And so this week, I am excited to share some things that have been going on in my life recently, and I'm excited to announce some growth that I've seen in my career. And I wanted to share that as well as how exactly that came about. So this will be a solo episode, so if that's not your cup of tea, you're welcome to hop out right now, but we'll keep it short. And I just wanted to share those things that I think will be helpful to anybody else who's looking to make a similar move in their career. So to kick it off, I am so pumped to announce that I have recently made a career change and switched companies. It was a little bit of a tough decision because I did enjoy the company I was at previously, but was really just looking for that next step and how I can really move the needle to take my career to the next level. And what I had realized in my previous role was that I had grown a ton in the several years that I had been there, but I was hitting a spot where I didn't know if I was really growing much anymore, and if I was really going to be able to keep pushing the envelope and pushing myself professionally to learn those new skills that some of our guests have talked about that I could then leverage to put myself in the position I want to be and really live the life that I dream of. And so I was not actually actively looking, and this is really where I want to focus this episode on, is that the reason I was able to make a move and able to find a job where I'm now making more money, I have a shorter commute, I'm learning a ton. It's in an industry that I think is really going to be something that in the future helps to, the skills that I pick up here are going to help my career, help my business, whatever it may be. So the role that I'm taking on is called a sales engineer role, and it's within the big data industry. And this is not something that I'm super familiar with, but it is focused on the marketing side, which is where my background is. And so it's definitely going to be a good fit, but there's a ton for me to learn. It's definitely pushing myself out of my comfort zone because it's not anything that I was doing before. But when I looked at my career and the projection of where it was headed, I realized it wasn't quite on par with where I wanted it to be. And so I knew that I was going to have to make a move that was maybe a little uncomfortable for me, to pick up some of the new skills that I would need to really move it forward. And so what I wanted to really talk to you guys about today is where I was able to find this opportunity and how that came about. And in my opinion, when you are looking to find a new role, one of the most powerful things that you can do is leverage the relationships in your life. And there's hundreds of ways of finding a new job, and I will not say that the way I did is the only one by any stretch of the imagination, but it's definitely been my focus to build meaningful relationships and to be able to then leverage those in the future to help again build that life that I dream of. And so what ended up happening was I was not actively looking for a new role, as I had mentioned, but just as it would happen, 2 opportunities came up at almost the exact same time. One from a newer relationship that I had built with a gentleman who is active in a few local business groups that I also participate in here, and I had made a point of going out of my way to meet this guy because he became highly recommended from friends and from people within my network. And so we grabbed a drink one day, and then we've gone back and forth, and he's almost stepped into the role of mentor for me, or he really has. And so when there was a new opportunity available at the digital marketing firm that he worked for, I was top of mind, and he reached out to me to have that discussion to see if it'd be a good fit. At the same time, there was an opportunity that came up from a company that I had actually interviewed for in the past when I was looking to make a job change the last time around. And at the time, the opportunity that was on the table wasn't the right fit. But I made sure not to burn any bridges there when that conversation didn't lead to any immediate job or any immediate opportunity. And I just kept the doors open and really nurtured that relationship with the folks that I had met there during that time. And so for that role, I had actually just found on LinkedIn. And so that's how I got my foot in the door there. But I really kept the relationship alive by nurturing it, keeping in contact, shooting follow-up emails every once in a while, just checking in, seeing if everything was going all right, and wishing everyone the best that I had met over there. And so then when they had a new opportunity come up recently that was more along the lines of what I was now looking for, I was again top of mind, and they did not hesitate to give me a call to say, hey, this came up. Is this something you'd be interested in? And so I went through the whole process, learned about the jobs, went through the interviews, and was blessed to be put in a situation where then I ended up having 2 job offers on the table and could really take a look at those and see which one was the best fit for me. And so as I heard it described in a great analogy recently, if you're looking for something and say you're really craving an apple and you have 1 apple sitting in front of you, you're going to go ahead and you're going to take that apple and you're going to eat it. But if you have 2 or 3 apples in front of you, what are you going to do? You're going to compare those apples and see which of those is the best apple that you can pick from, and you're going to pick the best one. So when you only have that one in front of you, it's a no-brainer. You're going to take it. You're not really going to compare it with the other apples out there because it's the only one that's being offered. I like this analogy because it fits perfectly with picking from an opportunity, like a job opportunity. If you're looking actively or you want to find a new job and there's just one in front of you, it's going to be pretty hard to turn it down if you're really looking for a new job and you're really craving that. But if you have 2 or 3 in front of you, then you can really compare them, take a look, and see what really fits what you're looking for the best. And so I was certainly blessed to have that opportunity this time around, to have a little bit of a choice and a say in the matter. It also gives you a little leverage when you're getting into negotiations and things like that. So the reason that I really wanted to record this episode was to drive home that point of making sure that you're building relationships on an ongoing basis, not just when you need something. So if I had decided that I was ready to move on from my previous company and then said, oh shit, I don't have any of these great relationships with possible employers or people who might be able to point me in the right direction for a new job, I better start building up that network and finding those relationships and nurturing them. It could have taken a lot longer to find just one of these opportunities, not to mention have 2 come up right at the same time that was just perfectly aligned with my timing to make a move in my career. And so I'm I'm very glad that I had the foresight to continue to build those relationships with not having any agenda at all in terms of getting a job or anything like that, but just knowing that by building these types of relationships that there could be potential opportunities that come up for me, or I might have opportunities that I could then share with these other people, which in all honesty would be probably even a more valuable thing to be able to offer other people opportunities like that, because that really just helps to solidify those relationships and really build meaningful relationships that will then be things that you will have moving forward for many years to come. Another quick thing that I wanted to mention about this process was the importance of having mentors and people in your life that you can bounce ideas off to and talk to as things come up. So this was a unique situation for me to have 2 job opportunities on the table, and I hadn't really been put in this situation before. And so what I had done is I reached out to a few people within my network, some people that are close to me that I consider mentors, and just bounced the scenario off of them and got their feedback. People who have either been in this situation or who are much further ahead in their careers than I am currently, and have been on the hiring side, have been on the side of looking for a new opportunity. And that really helped me to navigate these waters that were completely foreign to me, and make the most educated decision that I could, and approach it approach it in the most strategic way that I could, and knowing that I was receiving guidance from people who have been there before, who have seen these things play out, and who could look at it from a different perspective than I was. Because when you're living in it, it's hard to take a step back and really observe these things from a new view. So having that ability to have other folks take a look in, who I really trust and respect, and give me their advice and their take on the situation, was extremely helpful for me. And I was, again, so grateful to have people like that in my life who I could bounce those ideas off of and get their mentorship and their assistance through this process to be more confident in making any decision that I was. And now I am just finding myself in a job that I love. I'm making more money. I am just so happy right now. And these are some of the things that helped me to get there. And I wanted to share it because I want you guys to be able to also achieve these things and also be able to find that opportunity that's just perfect for you and is something that gets you excited in the morning to wake up and go to work and know that you're growing and moving in the right direction. So I hope that this has been a helpful episode for you guys, and that you can take some of these tidbits out of this and apply them to your own life if you're looking to make a career move, or even if you're looking to just make a change within your life. Just remember, the relationships that you build on an ongoing basis are a powerful, powerful thing, and can really help you get through some of these situations and really help you move on to the next level. Never underestimate the power of picking up the phone and nurturing a relationship. Call an old friend, call somebody that you respect, set up some time to grab coffee or a drink after work or something, and just take care of those relationships, because those are the most valuable thing that you can build, especially as a young professional who really still have our full careers ahead of us. We have so much time that we're going to be working and building our lives. Can't hurt to have some awesome people there to help us along the way. So with that, hope you enjoyed this, and you can check the show notes out as always at millennialmm.com/podcast. All of the episodes are posted on there, along with the show notes that hold any links, resources, things like that that are mentioned in the episodes. So swing by, check that out. And I will see you guys again here next week. Have an awesome week.